Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for digital nomads, expats, travelers, entrepreneurs, investors, and related internationals. For more information, please visit venezuelainsider.com. Why the Venezuelan Bolivar is practically and essentially dead as a currency, although it's not quite dead right now, although it's on ICU. Let's talk about it. The money or any given currency has three functions: unit of account, store of value, and medium of exchange. The Venezuelan Bolivar fills with such functions. Well, let's review it. First, store of value. The Venezuelan Bolivar has whatsoever no store of value used for the average Venezuelan. When a Venezuelan gets some bolivars, they either rush to buy groceries or some goods and services, or just exchange it for USDs. So in that regard, the Venezuelan bolivar, it's useless as currency on that regard, that is store of value. In economics, we call that effect the Gresham's law. The Gresham's law states that when bad money chases good money, meaning that when you get a depreciating currency, you just rush in order to get rid of it and exchange it for a better good. It could be the USD in this case, it could be gold, it could be Bitcoin, it could be any hard tangible asset, maybe some product, some electronic, food, canned food, or a spare for your car, you name it. On that regard, the Venezuelan Bolivar just flunks the test. The second function of money is unit of account. The Venezuelan Bolivar does work as a unit of account? Not really. What happens is most people here in Venezuela, they price and account the prices for goods and services and for financial statements. They do it on USD and they use it as a reference, and they leave the bolivars only for very punctual transactions. So in order to be a good unit of account, people just use USD to keep track of the prices and the income and etc. with USDs here in Venezuela, and by that regard, the Venezuelan Bolivar is pretty much useless. And number three, medium of exchange. And on that regard, actually, the Venezuelan Bolivar is still quite useful, it's pretty useful actually on that regard within Venezuela, and that's the solely reason why the Venezuelan Bolivar isn't dead yet. And here's what happens. When you are gonna buy groceries or whatever, you go to the supermarket, to the local market, and you usually pay in USD. However, if you have a fraction to pay, let's say 50 cents, $20.50. Let's say that's the total amount for your purchase, and you have a $20 bill, but you don't know how to go with the 50 cents. You pay those 50 cents with bolivars, and it's quite easy to pay, actually pretty convenient to pay with bolivars on those specific cases, and that's pretty much why the average Venezuelan use still the Venezuelan Bolivar. However, take it with a grain of salt, it's just for small purchase. And of course, one of the things that keeps a currency their power is the taxes. You can pay taxes with that. And in Venezuela, although the USD is the de facto legal tender by the people, still the local government requires and actually mandates that the tax payments are made via the Venezuelan Bolivar. And of course, when it's tax season, actually there is a lot of demand here in Venezuela for the Bolivar, and many people, especially private companies, are rushing in order to get as much as Venezuelan Bolivars as they can in order to pay their tax bill. However, Besides that, the Venezuelan Bolivar is pretty much useless. However, how that affects you and most people here in Venezuela? Well, if you come here with USDs or euros or any major hard currency, you're gonna be just fine. Just please try to come with the USDs. Try not to swing it with some other currency like a Swiss franc or something like that. Come here with USDs. Please, make yourself a favor on that regard. And for the average Venezuelans, they actually earn in dollars, the people who work on the private sector or as a self-employed, as an entrepreneur, you name it. And they bill in USDs, and also they make their payments also on USDs as well. By the same token, the only people affected by this, and this is quite considerable, are public employees and pensioners. For the public employees, they actually have other means of income, and those means of income are on USDs as well. And for the pensioners, it's a tough break for them, I have to say. I'm sympathetic with their situation. However, most of them are financially supported by their younger family members, and it's a sad situation for them. Actually, are the ones who struggle the most with the situation with the Venezuelan Bolivar, because their pensions are paid in Venezuelan Bolivars, and that's pretty much a useless currency. But besides that, most Venezuelans won't be affected since they decided that the USD is the de facto legal tender here in Venezuela. So if you come here with USDs or any major currency, you're gonna be just fine here in Venezuela. Thank you for watching the whole video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on our social media. Remember to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again. Have a nice day.